Welcome back to Invincible Jacksons. My name is Tori. If you are new here or don't recognize my channel, this is basically just my outlet to show my appreciation for the Jackson family and talk all things Jacksons in hopes of keeping their legacy alive. Now today, when I am filming this, is actually the 40th anniversary of the biggest selling album of all time. It's really exciting. It's a really exciting day. It's been a really exciting year. It's been a really exciting month. And just a lot of wonderful things have happened. So today I'm going to give my basically track by track review of Thriller 40, what I think of each song, my initial thoughts of when I heard the song, and kind of my favorite parts of them. So if that interests you, please stay tuned and keep watching. Okay, so to get things kicked off and started, well, first of all, actually I do want to apologize because next door they are building a house, so there might be some construction noises in the background, and they're also blasting music, so yeah, sorry about that. But like I was saying, to get things kicked off, Thriller 40 was released, I want to say about almost 2 weeks ago, and it was released November 18th, and it's just an exciting, first of all, it's just an exciting moment to be in the Michael Jackson community when there is a release, because everyone's joyful, everyone is just celebrating, everyone's exciting, and especially for this to be the 40th anniversary of the biggest selling album of all time, it's just a monumental event basically. And I got the privilege of being able to listen to this album with other fans. So first time I listened to this album was with people who appreciate Michael's music like me, so that was really special. I hosted a station head streaming party. You hear me talk about that a lot. I love it. It's a great platform. But I hosted a station head streaming party at midnight when the album dropped, and I invited people. There were some people in there and we were just kind of chit-chatting about the music, but for the most part, I also had my friend on the other line. I called her and we were just interacting to the music together, and that was just really cool. And to be able to hear each other's first reactions to the music and all that, and just basically share that moment. So along with doing that, I actually wrote down my initial thoughts, my initial impression of the songs, especially the ones that I haven't heard before. And I'm glad I did that because I don't know, something cool to look back at. So I will actually be reading off of that while I give my review on Thriller 40. So as you know, the estate announced that they would be releasing Thriller 40 back in May, and there's been a lot of anticipation since then, and I'm glad it's finally here. They also announced that the way they will be releasing the songs is kind of a fun way where they would go week by week for 10 weeks in a row, because there's 10 tracks on the second CD, and they would announce a song every Thursday. So that was interesting to see, and we all had our guesses and what songs we wanted, our theories and all that. So yeah, and then I think along with the second CD on digital platforms, they actually also included some of the music tracks and content and mixes and demos from Thriller 25, and they included some extra stuff in there as well. It was really cool, and some of my favorites are actually the ones that you can only listen to on that on the digital platforms, the PYT demo, the Beat It acapella demo, just amazing. So I'll get into all that once I give my review and everything. So basically the album kicks off with Starlight. So you know the backstory of Starlight. You know that Starlight is the Thriller song before Thriller became Thriller. It was written by Rod Temperton, and Michael recorded the demo. I believe Michael and Quincy kind of wanted to take a different approach to the song, so they had him rewrite it into what we know as Thriller. And so that's really cool because, you know, if they never had him rewrite it and they just kept it as Starlight, we wouldn't have the Thriller short film. So I'm really glad it took that turn, and Michael really knew what he wanted for this album, and he really knew what would make this album big. So my initial thoughts were, well, I guess to start off, I actually heard the Starlight demo years back, and to me it sounds like Thriller. It has the same melody and everything like that. It even has some of the same lyrics. But the thing that stuck out to me was at the end, it had different ad-libs that weren't included on Thriller. Like, he's singing this one part, like, give me that sun, give me that sun. And there's one part when he's singing, we've got to get together. And I really like those ad-libs because it brings something different. And I wish you would have kept singing we got to get together, but of course it was a demo. So yeah. And then after that we got the Hots. That is another song I heard, and I believe some fans felt some type of way about it because it had already been released on like special compilation albums and stuff. But I was just glad that we could finally have it on streaming platforms where you could pull out your phone and open up Apple Music or Spotify and finally play it off of there, and it's like officially released again. To me, going from Starlight to Got the Hots on the album track list, it was a very like cohesive sound because for one, it was both were written by Rod Temperton, and so it carried that same kind of sound. Like, it kind of sounded like an alternate version of Starlight, and I was like, oh, that's really cool. That's really nice to hear that go from this to that, and it sounded alike. I really like the chorus of Got the Hots. It's very catchy. I think that's my favorite part of the song, and I think when I first heard it, when I was younger, I think that's the part that actually really made me like the song. After that one, we have Who Do You Know? So we have our first ballad, and man, hearing those first notes of that song, me and my friend were like, what is this? Okay, Mike. And then listening to it even more, like, I remember there was just a moment of silence. Like, both of us were not even saying anything. We were just listening because I was just shocked. I was like, I've never heard Michael write something like this before. And it was just so different. It felt like a song that could be from today. Like, it had that timeless element. And I was like, what? I say all the time, he's way ahead of his time. He was just way ahead of everything. It's crazy. And to me, it sounded like a lo-fi song. And I call him the lo-fi king because of that now. And initially when I heard it, I was like, this doesn't sound like a song that would be from the Thriller era. And I was right, because he started writing the song in the Triumph era. I believe they said he started writing in 1980 and then revisited it for the Thriller sessions, but it still didn't make the album. But I don't know, the song is just so good. And my friend was like, this sounds like I'm So Blue. And I was like, oh my goodness, it does. And then someone else went on to say that Who Do You Know is the grandfather to I'm So Blue. And I was like, that's funny, but it really does sound the same. So I'm glad we have that song released, because I want to say for all of us, that's the first time we heard that song, and I think that's the song that most fans were excited to hear. It's like, oh, I never heard that one before. And I think that was the last song that was actually revealed on the like weekly song reveals, because everybody was expecting like Hot Street or Nightline. It was even rumors that it was going to be Chicago 1945 by Steve Porcaro, and somebody even like schemed up an edit to make it look like it was a photo leak of the full song list release and everything like that, and it had people fooled. And then come to find out, it's Who Do You Know? And so that really shocked everybody. So that was kind of like, it was kind of funny because everybody was fooled. Like, somebody even went to the extent of doing a math equation, taking the centimeters, the space between each song in determining that the last song is most likely Nightline. I'm like, I don't know how you did it, but okay, I see you. The dedication is there. Unfortunately, we didn't get Chicago 1945, Hot Street, or Nightline. I hope those songs get released eventually. Unfortunately, somebody actually leaked Chicago 1945, and I feel bad for Steve Porcaro because he really held on to that song. So I hope eventually we can get it released properly. So that's pretty much all I have to say. Oh no, actually, my notes said otherwise. To me, the song, I initially felt calm. It was like very peaceful. It's a sad song, but it's just so like, it's the same way I feel with I'm So Blue. It's sad, but it's calming. And then I also love the chords on the chorus part. I'm a big fan of good chords and like certain chords that sound right together. So I like that type of stuff in music. So after that one, we have Carousel. Everybody loves Carousel. If you don't love Carousel, what's your problem? I'm playing. But Carousel was actually going to be on the album. However, Michael heard Human Nature, and I think Steve Porcaro actually wrote that song as well. He heard Human Nature and was like, I want this song instead. So he took Carousel off and put Human Nature on, which, phenomenal choice, by the way. I love Carousel. However, I really, really, really love Human Nature. What I love about Carousel is like that R&B sound it has, and I love the chorus part and the guitar part specifically on the chorus part. I like the way it sounds. And one thing I do have to say is that this particular version, it had like, the quality of it was kind of interesting. Like, it was kind of, I don't even know how to explain it. It was kind of crunchy. That's the best way I can describe it. But it doesn't take away from how good the song is. Like, Thriller 25, it was released on there, and it was a shorter version, and I think a longer version was put out on a compilation album outside of the US. And Thriller 25, it really came in kind of abruptly. Like, it didn't have that intro. This one did the same way, but it didn't feel as abrupt, if that makes sense. It felt a little more complete. Of course, it was a little more complete because this is the longer version. So, yeah, that's what, I've heard, like I said, I heard Carousel before. So, that's pretty much all I have to say. Behind the Mask was after Carousel, and it sounds like a really early demo of the song. And to me, I don't know if I can't exactly, if I just haven't heard the song in a minute, because it sounded like, no, not sounded like, I remember the part when like he sings "Who Do You Love" before the "There Is Something in Your Eyes," because I always attributed the "There Is Something in Your Eyes" part to the bridge. And so when he sung that before the who do you love, I was like, wait, what? Like, it kind of threw me off, but it brought something different, and like, it took me out of what I was expecting. He did, to me, it sounded like he did different, why did I rate different vocal ad-libs? Maybe it's because I'm used to the Michael album version where they had the remix on there, which, by the way, I really love that version. I like what they did with it, and I really like at the end when they put the saxophone in there. It took it to another level. I really like that. So after that, we got "Can't Get Out of the Rain," and initially I was just like, why are they putting like this pre-Off the Wall era song in there? Because Can't Get Out of the Rain was originally called "Can't Get Out of the Game," and it was like the vamp part on the end of like an extended "You Can't Win" disco remix, and it was written by some, I can't even remember the man's name. I wish I did, but I can't. It was written, I think, for The Wiz. I don't think it made the Wiz soundtrack though, but instead of singing Can't Get Out of the Rain, originally he's singing Can't Get Out of the Game. But I guess they went back to and brought it to the Thriller sessions, and him and Quincy changed it to Can't Get Out of the Rain, and I think that's how they got their writing credit on there. I'm not sure, but people were like, why is this on here? And like I said, I kind of thought the same thing too. But oh, and another thing, they said, well, I don't know if they necessarily said it was supposed to be for the album, the estate to be specific, but I don't know. I guess the way they worded it could make people think that they were intending for it to be on the album, which I don't think that's how it went. I think Quincy and Michael were using it as a B-side song. They used it for the B-side of the Billie Jean single, the Girl Is Mine single, and I think the Thriller single. So I don't know, it was an interesting choice for them to put that on there. But I love it. I love the song, not gonna lie. Every time it comes on, like, it comes on out of nowhere and it just make you want to get up and dance. So I mean, we can't really change the fact that it's on there. It would have been cool if they waited for it to be, or maybe took the Can't Get Out of the Game part and put it on an Off the Wall anniversary album. But we'll see what they do in the future for Off the Wall. So after that, we have The Toy. And The Toy is up there with Who Do You Know? Once again, another wonderful ballad on Thriller 40. The Toy was the original version written by Michael of Best of Joy. And if you know the Michael album, you know Best of Joy was on there. And The Toy is just one of the magical songs. That's the best way I can put it. And Apple Music actually released some graphics, and they released graphics for the Thriller 40 album and Thriller album, but they also upgraded the albums to Dolby Atmos quality. And one time I had like my over-ear headphones on, and I was like playing it with the updated quality. When you get to that bridge part, it take you to another planet. I was like, whoa. I had to take a moment and stop. I was like, wow. Like, the song is just so good. And then what I really, really loved about it, because I want to say, like, first listen, I don't think I appreciated it as much. But after, like, the whole listening part and everything, I laid down and before I went to bed, I listened to the whole album again, and the song came on, and I remember thinking, this album is a perfect way to show the song, The Toy, is a perfect way to show Michael's raw talent, because you had like this little kick drum, you had a piano, and you had the strings. That's all you have for instruments on the demo, and it really like showed off his vocals really, really well. It's such a simple song, yet it is one of my favorites on Thriller 40. I love the chords of the piano and the strings, especially on the chorus part. And the song is just so good. After The Toy, we're back into the upbeat music, and this is another one people are like, why did they put this on here? And I was thinking the same thing too. I'm like, they should have saved this for an Off the Wall anniversary album. Give us that off the wall content. So we have Sunset Driver, and I love the Sunset Driver song. Michael wrote it for Off the Wall. It did make the album. I think it actually got swapped out with Girlfriend, and I'm like, Mike, why did you do that? Why? But it's okay. We got it released now. So I guess since it did make that album, he put it into the consideration list for the Thriller album, and it didn't make it there either, which I'm glad he made that decision. He went with the right decision, because Sunset Driver doesn't sound like an a Thriller album track. It sounds off the wall. I mean, the bass and the strings are two prominent things in the song, and that was a lot of that was like in a lot of songs for Off the Wall. That was a very prominent thing on the tracks from Off the Wall. So I'm glad he did not put it on the Thriller album. This is like my favorite upbeat song from Thriller 40. And if you guys played Michael Jackson The Experience, it was on there. And I've only heard that song played out loud when I played the game. So to hear it in headphones and really pick up on the background instruments and elements of the song that I missed before, it was like really cool. Like I said, that bass is very prominent. I love the bass guitar. And there's a part like right before you go into the bridge, a little instrumental break, and the bass goes crazy. He does it again at the end when it's kind of like the jamming out and like fading out in the song. The strings, like I said, I love the strings. Amazing. That's like the perfect, those two elements make up the perfect 70s song to me. But yeah, I really just love this song. And after that one, we have What a Lovely Way to Go. That is a song that I am still trying to learn to really love. Please don't get me. But I love... Well, I love the chorus of it. That's the part that I had to think, I'm sorry. But the chorus of it is very, very catchy. I think because it's a demo and I wasn't able to hear like his full idea or like his completed idea. I think it will help if I heard that completed idea is what I'm trying to say. But what's cool about this to me is I think this was actually starting to get written back in the 70s. And I think, to me, like, it's almost like how Don't Stop Till You Get Enough, Working Day and Night, and Wanna Be Starting Something is. So, it has, like, all these different sounds, all these different elements, all these different ad-libs. And it's one of those songs you can't even, like, put into a genre. And that's why it makes me think of those other songs. And it's like I see the idea of what Michael was doing, and I think that was the beginning of him creating songs like Don't Stop Till You Get Enough, Working Day and Night, and Wanna Be Starting Something. To me, it's like a really fun and funny song, especially at the end, because he has all these little ad-libs. It's like, come on, girl. And then, like, the random hee-hees. And I think he was trying to find his, like, sound. That's how I'm taking it. To me, it sounds like he was really trying to find his sound. So that was really cool to actually hear now that I think about it. But at first, like I said, it kind of threw me off. I think the way it came in, I don't know what I was expecting, I guess. So... the last song we have is She's Trouble. And She's Trouble, right off the bat, I was like, this got 80s written all over it. Got 80s written all over this track. It sounds like it'd be from a fun 80s movie soundtrack. And, oh man, I really love the bridge part because I don't know, it takes it somewhere else. It takes it... like the whole song has like this, sound, this cohesive sound, but then when you get to that bridge part, it's different, and I'm mad that it's so short. Like, I love a good bridge, and this had it. So another thing that I noticed is at the end of the song, it had ad-libs that reminded me of the ad-libs from State of Shock, and I was like, wow. Like, I don't know, but lately I've been noticing details in Michael's music, in the Jacksons' music, and stuff like that, that Michael has done in other music, like different elements. And it's just really cool to find like these little Easter eggs in Michael's music. And it's like, oh, that sounds like this part. Oh, that guitar riff sounds like the guitar riff on that song. Like, that's so cool. So that, I guess I'll say, like, go back, listen to the album if you have over the ear headphones, and like see if you can pick out different things you may have not noticed before, and really take a good listen. So that is the end of my Thriller 40 track by track review. I don't think that I truly appreciated Michael Jackson's Thriller album until this year. Like, I appreciated it. I understood the magnitude and how vital it was for his success and his career and for history overall. Like, if it wasn't for this album, if it wasn't for this era, if it wasn't for his artistry during this era, we would not have a lot of things that we have now. He paved the way for a lot of artists of color. He paved the way basically for everyone, the whole entire world actually. But he really did pave a way for artists of color. Like, because of him, they saw like, oh, I could do it too. I can do this too. And I'm just really grateful for that. But I think artistically, I did not, and it wasn't like an intentional thing of me not appreciating it. It just wasn't like one of the albums I listened to a whole lot. Like, I would listen to Off the Wall a lot. But this whole year, this album has become my go-to album. Like, I've noticed different elements in simply just the original 9 tracks. And I'm like, wow. Like, how did I not notice this before? Like, oh, this is really cool. Like, the whole album just has no skips. I love every single one of those songs. I could sing lead vocals, background vocals, harmonies, sing the instrument parts. Like, I've listened to this album so much this year, and I'm glad that the world is seeing once again with this anniversary and this whole release that Michael is called the King of Pop for a reason. He's on top for a reason. Thriller is the biggest selling album of all time for a reason. It is a timeless work of art. It is a timeless piece. It's a historical piece. And like I said, it paved the way for many. So thank you all so much for watching this video. I was not expecting my review to be that long, but yeah. But actually, I wanted to do something special. I bought a couple copies of Thriller 40, and I wanted to do my first giveaway today. And I want to do this to basically say thank you to everyone, because the support you all have shown me over the years. Not over the years. I haven't been here that long. I'm so sorry. I don't know what I'm saying. But over these past months and stuff like that has just been amazing. Like, I just pulled out this camera and I was like, you know, I'm just going to make my videos, talk to the camera, and whoever hears me talk. Whoever loves to watch my videos, that's who's supposed to be here. And I just wasn't expecting so many of you. So thank you so much for that. I'm also doing this because I know recent times, these past few years have been hard on people's finances, or maybe just circumstances in general are not allowing people to get the album and to be able to fully enjoy the release of Thriller 40. So I'm giving away a copy, and to be considered for this copy, you do have to do something. You can comment below. I'm going to give you 3 questions that you have to answer, and I feel like if you've been following me for a minute and you know, seeing my stuff, you should be able to answer them. I hope it's not too hard. So it's 3 questions, like I said. The first one is, how old was I when I became a Michael Jackson fan? The second one is, what is my all-time favorite Michael Jackson song? And the third one is, what is my favorite Michael Jackson short film? So, how old was I when I became a Michael Jackson fan? What is my favorite Michael Jackson song? Which I do happen to talk about a lot. And what is my favorite Michael Jackson short film? So, put that down in the comments below, as well as your Instagram. Or if you don't have Instagram, I guess Twitter. And so I can be able to like reach out to whoever wins and stuff. So basically how I'll do it is, if there's one person that gets the answers right, you're the winner. If there's like multiple people who get it right, I'll put you in a drawing, and whoever wins by chance is the winner. So yeah, I will hope to announce the winner by next week. And just thank you all again for not only watching this, but just for the tremendous amount of support you have given me. I really, really, really appreciate it. But that's all I have for today. Stay tuned for more as always, and I will see y'all next time.
Can you turn up the background a bit? And I lie, those parts.